All right, here we go. Now, inspections are really important. Mandatory, you're telling me, in California.
That's right. You can't buy a house in California without a home inspection. It's real important.
What about good old Canada?
Well, it's coming that way. It's coming that way. We have a problem with some legislation as to who can actually be a home inspector. But it costs you about $200, and it's going to save you thousands. I mean, you wouldn't buy a car without a safety inspection. Don't buy a house without a home inspection. Here
are some of the things you should look for, though, as far as problematic situations.
Some of the highlights. These are just some of the highlights they'll go through. They have a very detailed report they take your house through. It takes a couple hours to do this. But what they're looking for is things like your shingles. Are they all curled and buckled like this? You may possibly need a re-shingling, about $1,500. Or if the roof looks like this,
you're in trouble.
You got some serious problems.
Yeah, that's a structural, what, $4,000 to
that's on a re-roof. If your roof looks like this, you could be spending $15,000 for a roof.
Yikes.
You don't want to find that out after you bought your house.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, windows. This is, unless it's a brand new house, and even then there can be some problems with it, windows are always kind of a pitfall situation. Something to look at. Look at the sides of the walls of the windows, if there's a casing around it. Okay, if there's maybe some problems there, some rotting. Underneath specifically, even go up and feel the wall. Just push in like this. If it's real soft, okay, you might have not only drywall damage, but you may have some buckboard damage, which actually holds the window in place, so you don't want it sliding down. All right. The glass itself, is it really old windows that are in there? Because as far as the fuel efficiency, what's happening in this case is they let a lot of draft go through. So if you have an older house, certainly it's going to be costing you a lot more money. But
when you replace windows, I mean, they say you don't get your money back to how many years? Well, that's why I think a lot of people wait till like they really need them.
You know, I think good windows in a house, if you're looking for the real highlights, I mean, we've talked before, clean and neat, etc. But fuel efficiency in a house. So, which means it's heating systems, it's windows, etc.
All right.
Brick. A lot of people don't know where to look for what's happening on brick. At the foundation, we just heard something about carpenter ants. Termites come in this way. Right at the base of the foundation, you'll see that happening.
How will I know?
Okay. Lots of little ant hills. You'll see them going in this way. Where they love is where the there's any wood or moisture where the ground meets the concrete itself, they kind of burrow down. Okay.
That's near the foundation.
Right near the bottom of the foundation.
All right.
Where the foundation and the brick meet, a lot of times it splits here, so you want to look at how much seepage you have for as far as water. Mortar, how much mortar spillage is there if it's a new house, or how much mortar's cracked if it's an older house. Can be a real problem as far as moisture.
Why the spillage a problem?
If there's too much mortar on the outside of the house, aesthetically it's not very pleasing, etc. But also at the same time, it's really not something your house should have that. They're actually making changes now in the brick business that they're actually building brick on a 4x8 sheet and putting it up so all your bricks now straight, as opposed to doing one of these. It's really kind of a neat thing. If you have urea formaldehyde foam, UFI insulation, you will see little holes like this, about the size of a quarter, drilled in the brick. About waist height. And what you'll see there, this is my Coca-Cola foam. What happens when they spray UFI into your house, between the joists and the brick, they spray it in, and what happens is outside this little hole, you get this Coca-Cola foam looking thing. So if you have this type of idea, you have urea formaldehyde foam type insulation, which is not good. It's a bit of a problem. What you'll find in some cases, if you see this, you also have to look in your furnace area, and you'll see this big canoe-looking thing underneath your furnace. It's an air exchanger. What it does is it allows houses with urea formaldehyde foam to breathe. Electrical, kind of important things to look for. What's happening here is that you have a 60 amp service, You're probably on a knob and tube wiring. This is why there's so many fires in Buffalo. This is really scary stuff.
Really?
Fuses and circuit breakers.
But in the sense of like a lot of new houses are a little different now?
New home, new code at this point in time is a circuit breaker situation. 100 amp service is minimum, and if you have electric heat or any kind of electrical forced air heat, it's a 200 amp service. So just look at your things this way. Check your furnace. You've got things like oil, gas, electric, 3 types of heating sources, etc. The venting itself, we all know about our mid-range furnaces or mid-efficiency furnaces that have plastic venting. Big problem there. Central air, make sure that the system's actually working and that there's maybe possibly an electrical breaker. There's sometimes where all the pieces are there, but it's not hooked up. So this is what they're looking for. Moisture, and if it's dusty, if it's a lot of moisture down here, maybe there's a problem in the basement.
That's why you said there's a red flag there?
Red flag. You can phone the city. You can phone the city and find out if there's a furnace that's red flagged, or if you want to find out, phone the address. They'll tell you whether the furnace is flagged or not.
So take notes when you're walking around for yourself.
Absolutely. This is just some highlights. They go very in-depth into this. But you can see where the problems would come up.
Do you think they're going to be licensed soon, these inspections?
I hope so. If they did, it would really kind of improve the industry.
Absolutely. Okay.